So in spring training today, the Giants practice ends in the early afternoon. The players leave in all different directions and don't see each other until the next day. That was not the case and the vision of a former Giant owner who wanted the Giants to eat, sleep, and breathe baseball 24 hours a day in a place called Casa Grande. North Candlestick Drive is a long way from San Francisco, but just beyond this sign sits a storied part of Giants history, a dream, a memory, a story.
At a meeting of our board today, they voted permission for us to transfer the New York Giants franchise to San Francisco.
When Horace Stoneham moved the Giants to San Francisco, he moved their spring training complex from Florida to the Arizona desert, first to Phoenix, but Stoneham had a much grander plan.
You'd have to say that Horace Stoneham always had Dodger envy because the Dodgers had Vero Beach, and he wanted something like Vero Beach.
Dodgertown and Vero Beach was the envy of all of baseball. Branch Rickey took over an old Navy base and transformed it into a baseball city, complete with 6 practice fields, more than 50 pitchers' mounds, tennis courts, a golf course, living quarters, even a post office. This was Horace Stoneham's dream, but his was more than that.
It was a business idea on a couple different fronts. One is they wanted to have their minor leagues and major leaguers training in the same place, but they also got wind that there was going to be a freeway come right through out there, and they wanted to build a resort right next to the freeway. They figured that would be a great business opportunity. In fact, Stoneham and his partner was crooner Pat Boone.
The partners' dream rose from the sand in Casa Grande, 47 miles south of Phoenix, and opened for spring training in 1962.
The idea of having spring training and bringing all your team, all your minor leaguers and major leaguers to one place. I mean, they built barracks that housed 92 people for spring training. And they had a 4-field diamond, a clover, with a tower in the middle of it, an observation tower, which is still there, by the way. And they had a stadium, a small stadium too, that seated about 3,000.
It was the baseball mecca that Stoneham always wanted, a pool that was shaped like a baseball bat, the top of the hotel designed to look like the brim of a cap, and the parking lot formed like a catcher's mitt. A field of dreams that had players train together, eat together, and room together.
Knowing you were going to spring training and you're going to spend your first 2.5 weeks out in the middle of the desert, all there was baseball fields, the hotel, and a golf course. The town was 5 miles away, so you weren't really going into town. Plus, the town was real small. There wasn't really much to do there. So everything you did, you found out you were going to do baseball, and then you're going to go play maybe some golf in the afternoon, and then eat your dinner, maybe play a little cards, go to bed, do it all. That's what you did for 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks may not seem like a long time, but the accommodations could get a little tight.
We were in a 2-story motel with the 8-story hotel, and all the players except 2, and the 2 you could probably guess who didn't stay in the motel was McCovey and Mays. They stayed in the high-rise. Everybody else stayed in the 2-story motel, what we call, and they were small rooms. And when you think about it, there's no TV in there, a closet big enough for 1 person, small bathroom, and 2 bunk beds. And I say bunk beds because when the major league spring training left and the minor leagues came in, they put 2 more beds in there and put 4 people.
Mays and McCovey weren't the only big names with a room with a view. One famous movie star had quite a spread.
Well, here's my word. Get the hell off my spread.
Okay, you ready? We're walking into John Wayne's suite, number 804. Wow. John Wayne shot several movies in Arizona, and 804 was his room for good reason. Now, outside of the suite, John Wayne liked number 804. Expansive views. The baseball fields were here, but over there, that's where he kept his cows. Wayne was a big tipper, and if you were in the bar when the cowboy kicked up his booze, you'd better be thirsty, Pilgrim.
When John Wayne would come here, he'd sit in the bar and he would drink, and when he was done drinking, he'd give the bartender $100 and tell the bartender to buy drinks for everybody in the bar, and then he'd get to keep the change for whatever's left.
The hotel walls are adorned with the big names that visited, but mostly it is the baseball players. And like Oracle Park today, the field had a fence where youngsters could see Willie Mays swing the bat.
Mays was such a good guy, especially to the younger players. He would take care, because the younger players needed some help, know the ropes and stuff. If you've been around for a couple of years, Mays did, yeah, you're on your own, you know what to do. I'm going to take care of the younger players, and that's how he was.
Jim Barr left the Giants in 1978. When he returned in 1982, the Giants had left Casa Grande. It seems Horace Stoneham's business decision back in 1960 had one flaw. Remember that freeway that would run right next to the resort?
When they built the freeway, it ended up about 20 miles further away, so it didn't bypass it. And that vision of that spring training luxury getaway never really materialized.
The Giants moved to Scottsdale in 1982. The hotel was remodeled and now serves as a golf resort. The motel now houses aspiring soccer players who practice on their field of dreams.
It retains some of the Giant nostalgia for people who want to go out there and see it, but it's no longer has much to do with the Giants at all anymore.
The baseball bat pool still remains, as does the observatory. The broken tiles and graffiti are reminders of a game played long ago. But if you close your eyes and listen ever so closely, you can almost hear the sounds of spring on a field called Casa Grande.